Winter's coming. Well, not really. It's August, but it feels like it's coming. So we need to get a couple of bits done before then. The galley itself is all nicely insulated and panelled now. However, the ceiling could do with some four-way stretch carpet on it to soften the edges for that occasional blow to the head, and also to give it a little bit more insulation. I'm happy because it's cord, it's got a layer in between the two layers of fiberglass which gives it a certain amount of insulation, but I also don't want to lose any head height. It's the only place I can fully stand up in the boat. This whole section through to the V-berth. The ceiling in the galley is prepped and painted and ready for contact adhesive, and we will also put contact adhesive on the back of the carpet. Press it on, and I'll put it underneath these hardwood strips so that you get a nice softened impact when you bash your head, and it'll finish it off nicely. Okay, to make things a little easier for yourself, don't put contact adhesive on both surfaces to begin with. And if you fold the material in half and make some marks on where you intend the centre to go, that'll help you to place it up. So what I want to do is I want to gather up the centre, get it roughly into position with a little bit of excess. Then in the centre I'm going to tack it up so I can get it into position. Once I have that and I'm happy with the overlap, I can then get a section glued in place by, where's my other tin of adhesive gone? Don't spray glue on yourself. It doesn't come off easily. Okay, once you've got it tacked up, spray a little section on the carpet with the adhesive, and then just get that section fixed up so that you can pull the other ends back and make sure that they're going to line up where you want them to. So I'm happy with that side. Now I just want to see if this side is going to go where it needs to go. You can't see me, but it does. Once you're happy with how everything lines up, you can slowly start to stick the carpet up. I think the key is slowly, and be careful not to stretch the carpet. Leave all the stretch in the carpet for the places that you really need to stretch it into. If you pull it while you're sticking it up, you'll have it stretch in some places, not others, and it will become very difficult to get where you want it, and it will bunch up, and there's no way you'll get those creases out. That keep checking where you're going and make sure that you're working from the center out. Don't worry too much if you make a mistake. You can, within reason, just quickly, sharply pull it back and then get it to where you need it to go. For getting into those sharp edges, you could buy a fancy tool for it, or you could just use a wooden spoon. It's very forgiving, this stuff, and even if you do get a few voids on something like that, carpet will appear to be fitted professionally. In some cases you are going to have to cut and join the carpet, you know, where you just get too much excess. So just make a crease in it like so, cut down this line, then see where the overlaps are best, put the two layers together, cut all the way through the Stanley, peel them back, and then that should work. Bit of methylated spirits on a cloth will get most of the spray glue off non-porous surfaces. Right, so that's the basic there. We can trim it a bit more underneath. Bit of clean. Methylated spirits also works for getting it off your skin, like Muggins here often sprays himself with a good coat of contact adhesive. There we go. I'm going to do the sides around the companionway in order to, because I've come slightly off centre, I'm going to cut up through the centre of the carpet, and it will give me enough tolerance to be able to glue up those sides without having to worry about stretching the carpet. And just tack that up there. So this side runs up quite a lot, so if I put another cut in this way, that'll give me some flexibility to change the course of the carpet. And then I've got enough overlap to put that trim on without it bunching up. And this is where the stretch factor comes in useful for when you've mildly, you know what, there we go. And that does those. When it's time to trim, take it really slowly and make sure that you can see where you're going and that you've got a very, very sharp blade. You're probably going to have to replace your blade every 10 minutes or so if you're doing a lot of cutting. It will really significantly help to get a nice finish. The hatch edge doesn't have any trim on it, or any trim that would cover the carpet. So what I'm trying to do is put my blade through the carpet and find the edge of the black trim that is on there at the moment, and then slowly cut the carpet back to that edge. And then what I can do is clean that black edge. Has got some paint on it from previous paint jobs, and what I can do then is clean up that edge so it almost appears as if the carpet is going behind it. So far so good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an expert, this is just the way that I do it. I've put the trim back on there. I'm not sure whether that lends itself to another piece of trim with a nice rounded edge for the old noggin. So now we have to tackle the hatch next. So I've cut the fabric through the centre, so that'll give us a bit of stretch each way. It might take a little cut out there and there. We'll see how we get on with that. I only need it to go up a little way on this hatch opening because there will be a new frame going in with a cover and surround. But in the meantime, it would be nice to get it up as far as possible. Right, well that's quite enough carpet rubbing for this week. I did do a lot more filming, but frankly I think you'll probably be bored of it by now. So I'll show you what I've done, and join us next week for a little bit more DIY and hopefully some sailing. It's October, getting windy and cold, but we're going to try and get out again. See you soon.